planning isn't a one-time thing, it's an ongoing process. Are your goals still in line with your vision? Are you still on track? And what are you going to do if you're not achieving those goals? Reviewing my plan on a regular basis helps me stay focused and grow as an entrepreneur. It's all about constant improvements, keeping an eye on that end goal. There is no point waiting till January the 1st to review and plan absolutely everything, because if you do it now, and at the time of recording we're towards the end of March, it means you're going to have to waste or wait another 9 months before you can start again. You can start planning whenever you feel you need to, and also review on a regular basis. Now, I have multiple sclerosis, so things I plot or schedule in my calendar or plan to do will change on a daily or weekly basis depending on how my health is. Things I do plot on my calendar may or may not happen. So what? Unfortunately, that is life, and that is my life. If I even put in that my car has got to go in for service, unless they're coming to pick it up, if I'm too ill, I'm not going to get out of bed, it isn't going to happen. Am I going to sweat over it? No. Also as well, if I go out for one day, which I did a couple of weeks ago, spent a day in London, a business trip down there, I had to reschedule everything in my calendar to allow me to have that whole day in London. And then I was wiped out for over a week afterwards. I was not able to do a thing because it affected me physically with my MS. So I wasn't able to do work on anything other than literally look after myself and my daughters. The only thing I could achieve, if I'd wanted to, was maybe smaller bite-sized chunks. So the one goal of going out for the whole day changed my whole calendar for the next, I think it was 10 days. Nothing got achieved that was on that calendar. So what? That's all I could say. Okay, fine. I had one very good day where I achieved so much, and then I kind of paid for it afterwards. But that's part of planning. Everything else that was in my calendar, I've been able to shift. And this is the review process that I'm talking about. You need to be flexible. You need to be adaptable to changes and things that come up in the calendar, or things that don't get scheduled in the calendar that need to be addressed, need to be worked on, need to take place. There's obviously certain things in your calendar you personally might not be able to move, but be mindful of those, and everything else can shift and be put back. So by reviewing your planner on a regular basis, it allows you to see what you can tick off that has been achieved. This isn't necessarily about, oh, I didn't do all of this, so it's all got to be moved. You also need to look back and review at what you have done, how far you've come, things that you have actually ticked off, and then mentally look at it and almost like replan. So don't feel deflated if there's certain things that have had to be pushed back. I'm a big believer that things happen for a reason. So maybe things have been pushed back because now you can put other things into play, bring in other ideas that you want to work on. It gives you a chance to move things to one side, to pull in other non-negotiables, to add in other things from the would like to achieve list and put them into your calendar. So basically mix it up. And it's like creating fresh energy in your calendar. It's not all the same tasks. It's not all the same 9 to 5. It is then shuffling it all up, and it gives you a new outlook on things, and it makes you rethink things. Also, while you're at it, when you're reviewing and reassessing your calendar, your non-negotiables, your would like to achieve lists, everything like that, and also your time blocks, it allows you to look at the timings. Maybe they're not realistic, maybe they're not manageable, and just have a look at those and see for today, tomorrow, and going forwards, how things can change for you. For years, when I was achieving things, it was like, okay, that's achieved, let's get on to the next thing. Achieve that, let's get on to the next thing, the next thing, and the next thing. I got so wrapped up in ticking things off my list that I'd achieved that I forgot I had actually achieved something, because it was just becoming not overwhelming, but it had become so much of like a relay race. So you run, you hand the baton over, you run, then you hand the baton over. And that's what my life was like within my business. I didn't stop to take a breather and assess anything or everything. because I was too keen on always moving forwards, I never actually stopped and looked back. So what you need to do is look back at yesterday, last week, last month, even last year. See how far you've actually come, but also any goals that maybe you want to pick up on, redo, reassess, go back, maybe readdress them. Anything that you've done in the past, does it need to be revisited? So it's all about and you've probably heard of Mercury being in retrograde. What it means is slowing down and doing anything like so reevaluating, recreating, readdressing, anything like that. And Mercury retrograde isn't as bad as everybody says. It is about all of those things. You are taking that moment, those 3 weeks actually, every quarter, to reevaluate things and just make sure that you are on track. Now, I'm not saying take 3 weeks out every quarter, but that's how long Mercury is in retrograde. So what I'm saying is you need to readjust, reevaluate, do all those things that begin with and use those ideas and put them in when you are assessing and re-evaluating your calendar, when you are looking at your goals, when you are looking at what you've achieved versus what you want to achieve. So take a moment to look back on the brainstorming that we did. Have a look and see if there's anything that you want to add in that, and then maybe add it in within your linear timeline that we did, either adding dates, times, or adding it in within the numerological list that we created. And see if your non-negotiables are still in line with what you should be achieving, and you haven't just kind of chickened out and just said, yeah, my non-negotiables are I'm going to walk the dog. Make them part of your overall goal, so you are building that momentum towards everything working to and kind of coming together to meet that final target. Finally, please bear this in mind. Don't be afraid to pivot. If you find that everything that you have been looking at and working on isn't working for you, either the ideas or the mindset or whatever it is, take a moment to do something totally different. Even if it's going away for the weekend, even if it's taking a mental health day, and you just cross everything off your calendar and do nothing and don't schedule anything for that day. I would call that a pivot, because things will kind of come into mind, what you should be doing, how you should be doing things, and it's then giving yourself a new approach when you start again on the next day. To get the most out of this series, don't forget to come back and rewatch it all, either in a month's time or 3 months' time, just to make sure that you're setting your goals correctly, you know how to work with your non-negotiables, and to set specific, realistic goals for you and your business. Thanks for watching.